All right, today we're checking out the Lectric XPedition 2.0 long cargo electric e-bike. All right, so on first glance, all the parts look premium, and this comes in two colors, raindrop and white. Personally, I think the raindrop color is the most striking. It's a step-through design, so this makes it accessible to riders of all heights. We reviewed a couple of different long electric cargo bikes like this, where you have this extended rear rack over here. It's long, but I think it doesn't feel like it's too big because I think it's compressed over here, like in the front. So now let's walk through all the features. Here we have 20 by 2.5 inch tires. Looks like a street tread. Looks like we have hydraulic disc brakes over here. And then for the suspension, we have this Courier 50. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of travel, but again, this is really not an off-road design bike, so this should be plenty for riding on the streets. We have a very bright integrated headlight over here. We also have 4 mounting points in case you want to add a front basket. And then the stem is collapsible, so this thing folds down in case you need to load it into a truck and maybe it's too high, so you can lower the handlebars down. So you have some adjustments over here to change the angle of the handlebars, and then a quick release in case you want to turn the bars as well. For the controls, we have an ergonomic rubber grip, left-mounted thumb throttle, display controls, a very bright center-mounted color LCD display, phone mount, and then an 8-speed shifter. And you could change the shifting with your index finger and your thumb. So like I said, this is a step-through design, and it looks like you have a little handle over here to carry the bike. So you have a very plush saddle seat over here that has some cushion, makes it comfortable, and then you can also adjust it, and there's 2 adjustments over here. You could bring this sleeve up, lock it in, and then the actual saddle stem comes up even higher, and you can lock that in as well. So this can go pretty high. I don't know anyone who would ride it this high, but it can go this high. So here we have the 48 volt UL certified batteries, and they come in 3 different options: 13 amp hour, 26 amp hour, or 35 amp hour. And so the location of the batteries, I think, gives the bike a better center of gravity. And the motor is an M24 750 watt rated motor. We also have an integrated taillight with brake functionality. This is really good for safety, especially when you're riding in trails or you're riding with traffic. Something this big, you want to have some lighting in the rear so they could see you. Here's a look at the hydraulic disc brakes in the rear. I know they do make a integrated rear fender or a wheel shroud, and I think their design is supposed to kind of limit the noise that comes from back here. And I think the standout feature obviously is this really long integrated rear rack. The design of this means that you have plenty of mounting points to add accessories. If you want to check out the accessories, go on Lectric's website. So it is quite heavy, but if you remove the batteries, it'll make it easier to lift up or even carry up a flight of stairs. So when we review e-trikes or cargo electric bikes like this, like long ones, you're probably going to need some dedicated storage space, a shed or a garage, because these things are pretty big and pretty long. So now that we've gone over all the features of the Lectric XPedition 2.0, let's take it out for its first ride.
The Lectric XPedition 2 features a raindrop blue aluminum frame that's extra long and built to handle plenty of cargo. Despite its size, the bike manages to keep things accessible with a step-through design, making it easy for riders of various heights to hop on and off without a struggle. With a foldable stem, the XPedition 2 strikes a balance between portability and size. Although with a 75-pound total weight, transporting this bike with a vehicle might be tricky. The frame's integrated rear rack is a highlight. It's extra long and sturdy enough to carry heavy loads, whether you're packing for a camping trip, hauling groceries, or riding with kids. And the extra wide kickstand is a nice touch, making it feel stable and secure when parked, even with a heavy load. The XPedition 2 brings some decent power with a 750 watt rated, 1300 watt peak hub motor that has a custom designed torque sensor from Lectric themselves. This setup makes for a surprisingly responsive and smooth ride, whether you're accelerating or tackling hills. The bike's left-hand thumb throttle and 5 levels of pedal assist let you control that power, and it's got a top speed of 28 miles per hour, which is plenty for urban commuting or open road adventures. But where the XPedition 2 really shines is in the range department. Equipped with dual UL certified 48 volt, 35 amp hour removable batteries, Lectric claims the bike can reach up to 220 miles on a single charge, depending on riding conditions. That's huge for a cargo bike and makes this model ideal for anyone who needs to go the distance without worrying about battery life. However, keep in mind that more power and more range come with a little extra heft, so that weight might be something to factor in, especially if you plan to transport the bike. The ride quality on the XPedition 2 is impressive, Lectric's in-house torque sensor adds a natural feel to pedal assist, making it easy to manage the bike's power in various riding conditions. It also comes with a dual-spring, 50mm front suspension fork that helps smooth out the ride on city streets. But for serious off-road riders, it may not absorb the rougher terrain as effectively as a full suspension system. The saddle seat is built for comfort, and the riser handlebars make it easy to ride upright, which is great for back comfort on longer trips. Hydraulic disc brakes provide solid stopping power, essential for a cargo bike that's built to handle heavier loads. And the Shimano 8-speed drivetrain gives you a range of gearing options, making uphill rides more manageable.
Okay, first ride with the Lectric XPedition 2.0. So for me as a short rider, pretty easy to get on. Step through like so. Sitting on the saddle at its lowest setting, I still can't quite flat foot the bike. With one foot on the pedal, I can kind of do one of these things. So still pretty comfortable for me. We're here in Phoenix, Arizona, and they have a nice long trail next to the canal. All right, I have it set to pedal assist level 1, and we're just gonna pedal, no throttle, to see how that feels. Going downhill, so we're gonna pick up some speed. But the torque sensor feels good on this bike. I think it's a similar torque sensor with the XPeak 2.0. And so my pedaling feels very natural, but now I'm going uphill and I can definitely feel it in my legs. So I'm gonna bump it up to pedal assist level 2, much better. Very easy to climb this hill now. And we're flattening out. Let's bring it up to pedal assist level 3. Again, no throttle. This is purely pedaling power right now. And that feels good. I feel like I'm getting just the right amount of power where I can use my legs for a little bit of exercise. I am in 6th gear right now. There's 8 gears on this bike. And the 6th gear is giving me just enough resistance to make this a very pleasant ride, and I still feel like I'm exerting some physical energy. So that feels good. I really love this trail along the canal, and this bike is perfect for this kind of environment. All right, let's bump it up to pedal assist level 5, and we'll give it some throttle. And there you go. There we go. Max power. I think I hit 24 miles per hour on that run. Yeah, plenty of power for these straightaways. I'm getting a little bit of an incline here. No issues. Now, in terms of suspension, obviously, there's no rear suspension. So you do feel the bumps on the road underneath your seat, but you do get a little bit of suspension here with the front fork. Not a ton of travel in the front fork, so don't expect this to perform like off-road, but like trails like this with just a little bit of bumps in the road and like little cracks like this, they can handle it fine. Again, this is more about transporting cargo on this bike, and I think we've reviewed a couple of these long cargo bikes, and it's always interesting to kind of experiment with the I guess the weight in the back and the geometry of the frame and how you like to ride. And I think something like this feels like the perfect size, where it's extremely maneuverable. Like I can turn super easy. You know, I can kind of lean my body. I could get up, stand up on the bike if I want to. And not a problem. Going downhill, I feel like I have total control of the bike right now. And then quickly transitioning to an incline without losing any speed. Yeah, this is actually a nice high-performing bike. Yeah, what more can I say? I think the torque sensor is really good. I really like keeping it on pedal assist level 5. I feel like I have tons of control. I don't feel like the bike is gonna throw me off with the amount of torque it has. So I think it's tuned really well for the audience that this is aimed for. And I do think that this is a good seat height, even at its lowest setting for someone my size, about 5 foot 5 inches. But obviously if you're taller, the saddle goes all the way up and the bars are adjustable. So this can accommodate a whole range of riders for sure. All right, so we're gonna do a brake test. Come back here, gather some speed, full throttle, full pedal power, and then squeeze the brakes. Yeah, impressive stopping power for a bike this heavy. Honestly, this is the type of bike you want to ride on smooth trails like this, just to get like across the city. And obviously with these dual batteries, you're gonna get plenty of range. So this is perfect for really long range exploration, kind of like what we're doing right now. We don't really know where we are. This canal, I think, goes like pretty far into Arizona. So if we wanted to keep going, we could, and I wouldn't get any range anxiety because of these dual batteries. So yeah, I wish we had, you know, some more opportunities to add cargo, but obviously we're not home, so I don't have access to my firewood. That's what I probably would put back here to test the balance when you have weight. The way this thing is built, I think I'd hardly know that there was weight back here. Really great ride, and if you're ever in Phoenix, Arizona, definitely ride the canal because this is a cool trail.
So Rick just took this down the canal trail. It was pretty smooth. Now we're in a parking lot with similar bumps. I'm gonna give it a go and see what I think of it. Off rip, let me adjust the saddle up a little bit here. Now I should, yeah, there we go. Now we can move that freely. So now with the saddle adjusted, so I'm flat-footed with a little bend. Comfortable saddle for sure. Thumb throttle on the left here, shifter on the right. Let's just give this thing a go. I have it in pedal assist mode 1, so we're gonna take it easy at first and we'll bump it up as we go. So, really smooth, about 6 miles an hour, 7 miles an hour in pedal assist 1. If you're just on a very busy bike path, you know, this is what you would want to cruise on. Super simple, super easy to control. With the torque sensor now, it doesn't just hit you like a bag of bricks when you initiate the sensor, which I personally like to have that extra power. But if you're, you know, got mobility issues, you're older, you maybe don't have as good a balance because of something that happened to you, you definitely want that smoothness, because sometimes, I mean, even me being a stunt rider, I mean, just the little bit of power will catch you off guard if it hits you that hard. So let's kick it up in mode 2. So mode 2 here, a lot faster, just about doubled the speed. We're at about 14 miles an hour there. Pretty good, pretty good. Now 3. About 20 miles an hour. Then 4. 25-ish, I'd say. And then I'm assuming mode 5 is all 28, which is insane for a cargo bike like this, and it picks up very, very quickly, and it's very smooth with the torque sensor. And the brakes, oh, the brakes were great. They lock right up, no problem. But yeah, so riding this bike, you don't even notice that it's a cargo bike. You don't notice that you have this whole rack behind you. It's very balanced and very easy to ride. After going to Lectric's headquarters and speaking with Lectric's staff and understanding what their plan is, I can definitely see the vision, right? This bike is exactly what they explained it to be, and it's a huge upgrade from the XPedition 1. This thing blows it out the water. I mean, the dual battery, no range anxiety, you know, the 8-speed shifter instead of the 7. I know, you know, subtle things that make the bike a little bit better. And then one thing that Lectric does very well is pricing. All of their bikes are very competitively priced for the specs.
So here's what we like. With up to 220 miles of range, you can take this bike on multi-day journeys without worry. The custom torque sensor makes it easy to handle, offering smooth, responsive pedal assist and making the bike feel more agile than it looks. And the extra long rear rack and sturdy frame make this bike a perfect pick for hauling cargo. But here's some things to consider. With its 75-pound weight, the XPedition 2 isn't the easiest to lift or transport, so this might be a challenge if you're in a small apartment or need to carry it upstairs. And the bike's size can make indoor storage a challenge, so be prepared to dedicate some space if you're bringing it inside. Overall, the Lectric XPedition 2 is an ambitious bike that's aiming to set new standards in the cargo e-bike category. With its impressive range, custom torque sensor, and built-in cargo capabilities, it's easy to see why this model would appeal to serious riders, delivery workers, or anyone who loves the idea of a long-haul electric ride. It's not the lightest or most compact bike out there, but the XPedition makes up for that in reliability, power, and thoughtful design. So, what do you think of the Lectric XPedition 2? Is this cargo bike what you've been searching for, or do you want more? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.